Hello, everybody. I am Yolanda Marie. So there is a message today from the Arcturians through tarot cards, okay? There is a message posted as a Friday in the community section, all right? And that's going to be also about the collective. But for some reason, I just really was driven toward the cards. And normally I wasn't posting tarot readings for a long time, but I'm really moved to just express through whatever avenue the messages want to come through. And I love doing this. All right. What you, once again, think you're seeing in the collective is not what's really happening necessarily. Okay. Not if you're looking with your physical eyes, because right now the collective is moving toward clarity. Not only moving toward clarity, but demanding clarity right now. Okay. This is not going to be a long reading. When the cards started coming out, I knew immediately why they were guiding me toward this. And a lot of you are going to immediately understand what these messages mean and why they're so difficult to detect in the average population. Okay, especially if you're going about your business, in what used to be considered a third dimensional world. Well, it's not really anymore, right? It's more like a hybrid. We're oscillating collectively. Okay, if you are tuning into this message and these type of messages, you are most likely beyond oscillating and you're just moving. You're moving forward through these different frequency spectrums as you create this experience that you wish to have reflected back to you in the world. All right, so you're following your soul purpose, whether you realize it or not, if you're tuning into this message. Okay, so that definitely wanted to come through. Okay, so listen, the collective is moving toward this Ace of Swords. This is clarity. This is swords, sharp, okay, cutting to the chase. This clarity is crossed by this Emperor. So what it's bringing in, what it is basically is clarity about independence and having the power, okay? Humanity, humans, collectively, in the energy. There is clarity coming through right now in humanity about its own power. I want to note something here about this spread, and you'll see there's no hierarchy in this. There's no structure. This is what we're moving at. There's no hierophant representing a structure in these cards anywhere. It's about the individual, but yet representing the collective power, the collective nature of humanity to govern itself, okay, from within. With this Ace of Swords, not only is the clarity coming, it's coming passionately. You guys might know by this point, I really like this illuminated tarot deck because it uses these really cool cards based on your typical card deck. And these clubs are wands. This is passionate movement. It's basically the Seven of Wands. It's determination. All right. And then this Jack of Wands here, okay, this Jack of Clubs is a Prince of Wands. They move passionately. Princes don't really think a lot, okay? It's not a mature energy, right? So it's very impetuous. So humanity right now, with everything that's going on, is being pushed basically to just seek this clarity, and they're seeking it with passion, whether we're able to detect it person to person or not. It's an energy. At any given moment when you are around other people who may not be vibrating at the same level, okay, they might not be exactly on your frequency or even really close to your frequency spectrum. Maybe there's some reason you're navigating between. You may not be able to discern or detect that, rather, with your physical senses, okay? But it's happening because subconscious thoughts are coming to the surface, which means they're being shown in individual lives on some level. And it's what it's the need to do is travel to calmer waters. It's a journey toward healing and a journey toward justice. Okay, because at this point, it's almost a demand, almost at the level of a demand for clarity. Okay, and to an extent, with many individual sectors of society, all across the globe now, not just in the United States, of course. You know, certain pockets are demanding it, for sure. People are leading the way, but this energy is swelling. Okay, and the inner emotions, very decisive. They are moving out. I should say, as humans, the humanity, the human collective, the human consciousness is becoming very decisive in its inner emotions, like it's making up its mind. So at some point when you're seeing different individuals, at some point they're making up their minds, okay, that they want to move out of whatever this old structure is. And the outer manifestation, okay, or what they're experiencing outside, what they can see in the physical, grief. This is not a surprise right here. Deep grief. Okay, they're recognizing they do have something. You know, there are 3 cups turned over there, okay, but 2 are full. So they have something that they're acknowledging there is something there, but there are 3 cups turned over. They are missing some very important pieces of their heart, of their being, and they're recognizing this. It is becoming clear, where before it was very like, oh, we're not sure. We're used to this other thing. This other thing was okay, right? It's not feeling all right anymore. With this 5 of Cups being grief, it's also inheritance. Okay, this card represents very often the grief that occurs just before a group, a person, a situation moves into its divine inheritance. Okay, this is what is being experienced in the collective right now, and they're seeing it. It's in plain sight. Okay, plain sight. The clarity of that there is something missing. Something is really going on. And so there is a very, very high potential that this is going to cause a judgment. Now, this card came out twice. This is rebirth, a reboot, a reevaluation, and a restart of a situation in a major way. This is major arcana. And it came out twice. This 10, now the other one is the 20, okay? This 10 is the judgment card, the reboot, okay? The awakening version of the illuminated tarot. So this judgment major arcana, major reboot card, it is the change of a paradigm, literally, okay? Most likely outcome in this spread is the change of a paradigm, a wake up call, a wake up call, all right? And voice is being used. Look at that rooster. So many things. Voice is being used, a wake up call. Because why? People are realizing they have the tools themselves. They're going inside. These 9s are independence. There are 2 of them. The 9 of Cups came out and the 9 of Pentacles. This is grounded independence where you are able to be self-sufficient and support yourself. This is based on the collective here. Being able to support itself, have a deep understanding of its values. It has a deep understanding. This is what is being called for here. This isn't like the advice, solutions and advice, what the guides are calling from the human collective. So human individuals on some level, even if they're not conscious of it, collectively, they are being guided towards, listen, understand that the old situation, structure, thing that you thought you needed is not viable. You can do this. All of you from a different perspective. What perspective? More cups. Heart, comfort, love. You are valued. Subconscious here, because there's a new idea of love, a fresh new idea of how to be. And this is a romantic idea. This is romantic, beautiful, coming from the subconscious, right? Okay, so from beneath the surface, this is coming up. So the collective is, and this is this is a page, right? Or a princess in a different tarot deck. And this page energy is the very beginning of the understanding of this. So the human collective on a broader scale, okay? the broader consciousness. So not specific groups, because obviously there are those of us who are leading the way and we're already spiraling through at a very fast pace these very high frequency spectrums of energy, creating what will be the pathway toward what the rest of the collective sees is possible. So we're basically creating the possibility. Now, the broader human collective is ready to start seeing that possibility. Sit with that for a moment. So the next time you think you forget, why you're doing this, or you think, I don't see any evidence of this, I'm not sure this is happening, go through that third eye. Whichever way you communicate, however you get the messages, and trust yourself when you get it. Really look beyond some of what you're seeing, because first of all, a lot of it is purposeful distraction. A lot of it is purposeful triggering, okay, in the good way, to remind you, to pull you back into your heart. We talked about that. There's a reason for everything, right, in terms of behavior. So we have to be able to, well, we don't have to, right? Everything's going to be okay regardless, okay? So just no panicking, relax, relax, relax. But we are moving into a stage, and if you're watching this, you may be moving into a stage of this awakening and ascension process, is what this is, okay? Where you're able to see past the physical behavior and even the manifested results of that around you, which, as we are seeing, can be terrifying, and devoid of heart energy to an extent, okay? Yeah, but see beyond that into what's going on in the deeper levels of consciousness, or the more expanded levels of consciousness that those people are not aware of just yet, and see what's really going on. Okay, so the message that the Arcturians put through, which was posted on April the 1st, talks about this a little bit too, okay? Love you so much, beautiful soul family, and I'll talk to you again very, very soon. Namaste.